Well, hey, thank you for joining me. It has been a very long time since I went live. Let's see if I can center this thing. Obviously, I'm outside at home right now. I was calling my live vlog, um, what did I call it? The Midnight Rider. Midnight Rider. I think I did about 3 episodes of that. And I'm 40 years old, and it's hard for me to stay up until midnight and do anything, much less stay up until midnight consistently to do anything. So I'm gonna try this. We'll see how many days I can sustain it. I'm doing it today, so far so good. I've got 2 things I wanted to share with you today. One is a poem and one is a list. We'll go ahead and do the poem first. This was written back in June, and I honestly wish I could remember what this poem is about. Maybe you guys can help. Leave a little comment or just let me know in person if you have an idea what this is about. This is called Guaranteed to Last, and it was written on June it was written on June 16th. When structures need restructuring, as they often do, the pieces have to reconform in order to get through, and members of the new structure may have difficulty realigning if the new structure is too rigid, too strict, and confining. A reinvention becomes necessary as there are no options better, and in the process, certain members certainly grow closer together. The original structure cast aside, a memory of the past. New bonds forged for the future, sure and guaranteed to last. I have some ideas. I know I like it, so that's that. It's guaranteed to last. So yeah, the list that I wanted to share with you is 20 things I've learned in my weight loss journey. Don't check out on me just yet, okay? Because these are 20 good things. I'll go through them as quickly as possible. Number 1, my body does not tell the truth. Here's the thing. My body says that I'm hungry, and my body tells me that I want this or that, and rarely, if ever, does my body tell me the truth. Typically, it just does not. It always tells me, it makes me think I'm hungry when I'm just not hungry. I have probably never known hunger, honestly. Number 2, I've been eating my feelings, and it's true I have. I don't think of myself as an emotional eater, but I know that earlier this school year, back in August, second or third week of school, I fell on, not hard times, but just, discouragement. But this discouragement weighed on me much heavier than maybe I expected that it would, or it should have. Anyways, I didn't have food to take refuge in, and that was difficult. By the way, this is 20 things I've learned in my weight loss journey. I started this school year weighing 247 pounds, and now I weigh 219. So I'm closing in on 30 pounds. Number 3, exercise has nothing to do with weight loss. It doesn't. At least it doesn't for me. I have not been exercising, and that's good, bad, probably bad, but it's bad in some ways, but in other ways, I'm making much better healthy choices in my eating because I'm not relying on exercise to eat right, which has been the opposite. What's up, guys? Hey, thanks for joining me. KTM Vlogs, that's Chance Brave. What's up, buddy? Number 4, I've got here, church is the worst, and that may or may not, anyways, there was a Wednesday night that, we eat at church every Wednesday night, and this Wednesday night, I was there, and the food is wonderful, and so it was a struggle to just eat well and not overeat. So, but I didn't overeat. I didn't have dessert. I drank water, and then I skipped dessert, and then there was donuts around, and there were more donuts around, and just like, man, church is trying to make me fat. Number 5, moderation is so important. I don't really have to elaborate on that, but moderation is super important. Number 6, my data points tell a story. They do. I weigh on my Nintendo Wii every day, and sometimes the data points, when I weigh in every day, they tell a story, but they don't tell the whole story. For example, the way that my weight fluctuated last week was that I basically didn't lose any last week, so I stayed at 219. But the story is much more interesting, much more complicated than that, and so just only looking at it from a data perspective is a mistake. Number 7, my incredible shrinking appetite. So this became clear to me one Friday night. It's been a couple months now, but one Friday night, my wife and my younger son and my daughter and I went out for pizza. And after I'd had just a modest amount of pizza, I was like, I'm full. And that's when my body was telling the truth. I had to train my body to understand what the truth was. And the truth was, as a 40-year-old man, I don't need that much to get full. Not really. Not when my appetite catches up with my needs. And so, after a while, my appetite started shrinking. Number 8, my culture is hypocritical. Okay, here's what I know to be true. I see fast food restaurants everywhere, and I see gyms everywhere, be it Planet Fitness, Gold's Gym, 24-Hour Fitness, YMCA, you name it. My culture is hypocritical. We are encouraged to make healthy choices, and we are encouraged to make ridiculously indulgent choices at the same time. It's insane. Discernment is key in this case. Number 9, and 9 and 10 go together. 9 is personal accountability, and number 10 is group accountability. I am accountable to myself. In this case, I would say that the personal accountability that I have with myself is more important than my group accountability. My wife and my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my mother and father-in-law, we are all on a weight loss journey together, and we're in a Facebook group, and so we're kind of trying to keep each other accountable, and we do okay, but as far as me keeping myself accountable, I'll elaborate on this more later, but yeah, it's super important to keep myself accountable. Number 11, well, I would say 10. 10 things is good for now, because I've got more than 20. I don't want to do 20 all at once, and that will give me a reason to come back and do an after school deal tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in with me for a few minutes. If you're live now, you might want to catch the poem that I dropped on the rewind. And thank you so much for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.